So we're going to take just a few minutes to learn about momentum. And momentum, the definition is the quantity of motion of a moving body measured as a product of its mass and velocity. And you might be saying, well, what is that? We see velocity that it deals with. Mass is the amount of the substance that is there. And so this is a quantity of those, a product meaning multiplied by one another. So something being a lot bigger, going faster, it's going to have a lot of momentum. Something that's light, that's going fast, would have lots of momentum, or plenty of momentum, but not as much as something that was heavy and going fast. And then something that is light and slow will have very little momentum. So to give a better idea of what momentum is, it's like if you're standing here and someone says, I'm going to throw this wadded up Kleenex at you, and you know they can throw it at 20 miles per hour. You're not going to flinch. You're going to go, okay, that Kleenex is going to bounce right off of me. It's not going to hurt. It'll be fine. However, if it's a Mack truck that's going 20 miles per hour at you, you better get out of the way if you know what's good for you. Because that Mack truck will completely decimate you. Well, what's the difference between the Mack truck and the paper ball? Well, it's momentum. Because of the mass of the Mack truck going at 20 miles per hour, it has a lot more momentum than a measly little paper ball at 20 miles per hour. Momentum of the Mack truck, that would really wreck you. Momentum of a paper ball, that'll bounce off and do nothing if it even makes it to you, if they're standing that far behind. So that's the difference of momentum. It's the amount of stopping power, a lot of it, that's multiplied by its mass and its velocity. This is what that looks like mathematically. Now, yes, it's momentum, and yes, you use a P in the formula to represent it. Please don't get confused by that. It's just we have a whole lot of things that start with an M, so they used a P. It actually comes from, I think it's a Greek word that means momentum, but we use a P for it, okay? So P represents momentum, M represents mass, V represents velocity. So mass times velocity gives you momentum. Notice the arrow? That means it's a vector. Your momentum has a direction with it. And you're going to need to know how to move it around and change that formula so that you can solve for each component. You can solve just for the mass and you have momentum divided by velocity. You can solve just for the velocity and do momentum divided by mass. So it's what it gives you. If you remember though, we have a shortcut if you're bad at writing these down called the triangle method. So if you've already forgotten about our triangle method, here it is. Put all of the components in a triangle and you cover up whichever one you need. So in this case, I cover up momentum. Momentum is what we're saying is equals something. Whatever's left is the formula. So M times V, because if it's across, you multiply. So mass times velocity. But I can also get other things. If I needed, for instance, mass, I cover up mass. And then I'm going to have mass equals. And what's left? Well, momentum divided by, over top of, velocity. Momentum divided by velocity. Or I can cover up the V, which is going to give me velocity equals, and then what's left? Well, momentum divided by mass. So momentum divided by mass. And you can get all three formulas that way, using our fun little triangle method. But you have to be able to put things in there properly still. And so just thinking about this, we can start to understand some basic problems with it. So if it's mass and velocity, and we're looking at this and there's a tractor trailer moving at 55 miles per hour, pretty good on a highway, and a motorcycle moving at 55. Well, which one has the greater momentum? Well, it's just the one with more mass because the velocity is the same. So the tractor trailer would win. On the other hand, if there's two tractor trailers moving at the same speed and the same mass, so they're identical tractor trailers, which would have more momentum? Well, neither. They would have exactly the same. Same speed, same mass, same momentum. So the way I like to think about momentum is it is different from weight and mass. So I had this old pickup truck back in the day, and it kept breaking down on me, and I would have to push it. Now, wheels make things move a little bit easier, so it's not necessarily friction because rolling friction is very little. But it was still hard to push because it weighed a whole lot. And the way I think about it is if I started pushing it, it was really, really hard. If I could get it rolling, it was easier to keep it moving. This is completely because of the momentum required. So if you think about it, it also makes it harder to stop. I could push it, but I wouldn't dare try to pull it to a stop. Because if I was pulling on it, it would just drag me down once I got it moving because of the momentum that is behind it. Now I know a lot of you are thinking, well, isn't that just weight? Well, weight only goes one way. It's gravity. It goes down. And if you think I'm pushing to the side, so what does the weight have to do with it if I'm pushing in a way that the weight doesn't even affect? No, I couldn't lift it up. I couldn't lift it up because of the weight. But it was really hard to get moving because of the momentum that it required to move such a large mass. And like I said, this works both ways. If you think of great big sailboats, well, if they start to come into port and need to stop, they need to throw out some sort of giant anchor that digs in and drags them to a stop. Why? Because they have a lot of mass and a lot of velocity, and so they have a lot of momentum. And it's going to take a whole lot to stop that momentum so it doesn't just crash. Because that's what you get a lot with momentum, is crashing. It's also why me as a fat kid, if I fell down a hill, I was in more danger of clobbering somebody else than a little skinny kid. Momentum.